Right guys, first time of starting the Golf R drive-away antics of fitting an intake and fuel in. I've got the air fire extinguisher ready, so let's see if it starts and doesn't burst into flames. What's going on guys? Part 2 of this, as it has dragged over quite a while, I'm afraid. So picking it up, we're still in coronavirus lockdown, so I've been making the most of the beautiful days and trying to get this intake manifold sorted. Now, just a bit of an update. It was a couple of weeks ago when we released part 1, well, when we actually filmed part 1, sorry, and the intake manifold was going in so well. However, disaster struck. I'm just going to go and show you now, but basically the intake manifold was very difficult to fit in the end. The fitment, to be honest, wasn't the best. So I'm just going to show you now what I mean by that. And the old one, I'm just going to flip this round. And the old one was positioned to the block through these 2 holes here, 1 and 1 there. Now you could get to that other one through this lovely little gap that they gave us in the stock manifold. So it's nice and easy to get it out, far too easy. However, in the new manifold, as you can see here, which is now fitted after hours and hours and broken nails and knuckles and everything, it's still secured by these 2 bolts, which you can see down there. There's 1. Ooh, I'll just get that to focus. There's 1 there, and there is another one underneath it, and the other one is down there. I'm not sure if you can see it, it's a bit dark. So anyway, the top ones are absolutely fine, pretty much. However, there's no hole or gap to get to the bottom one, so you can see now, not even underneath there or anything. So you've got this tiny little room here, try and get an Allen key down into there, and it's just been impossible. My knuckles have just repaired themselves, but yeah, it is now in. I had to buy tons of weird gadgets, 90-degree angle sort of gadgets and stuff to try and get in there, and it is actually on now and it's fitted. We had to take the air filter, the oil filter out here just to get better access to these bottom ones here, as you can see just under there. So yeah, we're pretty much ready to go back in now. There are a few sensors and stuff that went into the old system that are now obsolete, so we'll probably find when we start it up we're going to have a load of sensors come up and we'll have to map them all out. But yeah, it's been fun, shall I say, but we're just literally trying to put now, well, the last thing to go in is the fuel rail across the top. So if you follow me into my little messy garage, we've got the fuel rail here, which again, another thing we've been hunting for. Fortunately, the plastic bit's broken off this sensor here, getting that out. That was an absolute pain to get out of the old fuel rail, and you have to actually take this little sort of gold bit off it to actually get that in. But yeah, we have to bung one of the ends, so but just take this out and just show you. So yeah, so effectively it's going to sit in there, sort of obviously further in, but we've got the fuel rail that's going to be coming in to this side here, that's going to be going onto there, that's absolutely fine. Over then the other side had the same sort of nipple as that, where the old one didn't have that, it was just blocked off. So it's been a real task to try and find something big enough to go in the end there, because they are really big. We managed to find a bolt that we've cleaned up and we've put some Loctite round to make sure it doesn't come out. So yeah, so this is ready to drop in now guys, so I'm just going to drop this in with the injectors, the new 980cc injectors. I'm going to plug it all back in together, and then it is time for the first start. So it is going to be exciting to see if it blows up, if it sets on fire, which it probably will. I'll have a fire extinguisher next to me, so that'll be fun. And we're going to just put the fuel rail back in now. We need to top the coolant up do a few bits and bobs, and then we can start it. So guys, the fuel rail is now in. Finally, another to be honest with you, but there we go. I'm just going to show you that now, show you how cool that looks. It does look really naughty, to be fair, with this billet fuel rail in here. So this big bolt in here, proper redneck. So yeah, so that looks absolutely gorgeous now. We are now just going to bolt up the injectors. So this goes onto the loom, this loom here, which all plugs back in, plugs back into the map sensor, and do bits and bobs with that. And then it's time to fire it up. Might do it today, it's getting on a bit now, or I may just do it at some point tomorrow maybe, or in the week. Kind of a bit nervous about it, to be fair, but we'll give it a go anyway. Hopefully it starts. It hasn't been started for about 2 months, so the battery might be a bit dead. Might need to put it on trickle charge at some point. But I'm just going to finish the rest of this bit up, and you will see us when we're next going to try and fire it up, and we'll have a fire extinguisher by the ready. Hopefully we don't set it on fire. Right guys, first time of starting the Golf R drive-away antics of fitting an intake and fuel in. I've got the air fire extinguisher ready, so let's see if it starts and doesn't burst into flames. I think the battery's flat. Just gonna check that it doesn't look too, no like fuel leaking or anything. Might be the fact that there is an airlock as well, or some air in the fueling system. At the minute, it all looks okay. Okay, let's give it a few more turns. Sounded like it wanted to fire, but we'll maybe have to hook it up to the trickle charger. Oh, there we go guys, it's running. Let's go and check it out. Hope this seems okay at the moment. Bit lumpy because of the bigger injectors, obviously. They need mapping in still. So I'm going to shut it off now until we do some mapping. So there we go, I've done it. Probably loads of things wrong, loads of codes coming up on the dashboard. That's probably because of the intake manifold flaps and stuff, so I'll need to scan that. But we're going to put a base file on for the bigger injectors. So obviously we've gone for the 980cc MPIs, so multi-port injection. Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't burst into flames. Everything looks okay with it at the moment, which I'm very surprised about. Oh, just realised one thing that's unplugged. That's maybe why it was running a bit rough. Is the throttle body is not attached. So I was wondering where that one went. Bloody Nora. Hold on. There we go. So that's on there now. Let's give it another start. I reckon it might be a little bit better now. I'm going to just put the foot down. It wasn't opening the throttle body, so there was no throttle. Let's give it a go. That seems a bit better. That doesn't sound too good. Sounds like there's air going in there. Now on the old one. There was a gasket underneath that. Oh, there we go. Didn't like that. Now I hope this gasket doesn't need to bloody go in there. It looks like it does. So guys, it is running well. However, it looks like RPC have failed to mention that this lovely little gasket off the old one seems to go down here. Now to get that on, looks like I'm going to have to take the whole bloody thing apart again. I'm going to see if there's any way of doing some sort of sealant around there, some sort of silicone sealant, because no way I'm bloody taking all this apart again. Which is a real pain, and I've got to be honest guys, and I hate doing this, but this kit is from RPC Motorsport and they've been absolutely useless. I wouldn't suggest getting a kit from them. None of the things line up, none of the bolts line in. It's been an absolute pain to fit. Whenever you ask them, they just don't really give you any kind of answer. And in their instructions, it doesn't say about this gasket, which I'm really pissed off about, because they do send instructions and it's about a page and it makes it look so easy. We're just taking the old one off and fitting the new one. Doesn't tell you about any of these bolts down the back that I showed you before. Didn't tell you about this gasket. You know, it's just really disappointing, to be honest with you, when you spend quite a bit of money on a product. And we're hoping to sell these. To be honest, I don't think I want to give these to customers, because even though the quality is good and it looks really nice, the fitment is just absolutely awful. So if we're going to do another one on a customer's car, we'll probably look at one that's a better fitment, just so we don't charge so much labour. So if you'd have to charge us out in labour, we'd be charging about 2 or 3 days in labour to fit one of these. They're absolutely crazy. So yeah, it looks like I might put a bit of silicone around here, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get this throttle body off without taking the whole thing off, because these bolts aren't too bad. That bolt would come undone. Be able to probably get the one underneath there as well, and probably that one somehow, but there's one around the back here. I'm just not going to get that off, so I might just do a little bit of silicone on there. Frustrating. Yes guys, I'm going to go and do that now, and I'll catch you back probably in the next couple of days to finish up this episode, or probably just do this part 3, because it's going to be getting really long. I'm going to do the sealant on the intake manifold now, just to make sure that it all looks okay. But it starts, it's not on fire, which is great. I've missed the sound of it. It's been about 2 or 3 months now. It's covered in dust, absolutely filthy. So looking forward to getting it back on the road. We'll be mapping it in the next couple of days as well for the 980cc injectors. So that's going to be fun, guys. And yeah, I'm going to go and do this now and then go for the night. But I'll catch you soon. Look forward to episode 3. I think we'll do a 3rd episode for this, because it is such a big, sort of long, drawn out job. I'm trying to give people a good sort of rundown and a good build of how to fit it. So yeah, it's been fun. But yeah guys, I'll catch you in a bit and we'll see you soon. Bye.